He does say that he himself was augmented with, I asked him if his intelligence was augmented and other capacities. He alluded to the fact that, yes, he has been augmented.
He's still not smart enough to get himself off a bum murder rap.
We talked about why is there secrecy, and the fact that all the races, including the humans, are in complete agreement that this secrecy has to continue because humanity is not ready to deal with the reality of the ET presence.
I've never been convinced by this argument that aliens are kept secret because people would panic if they knew about them. If you go back to Neolithic man, a couple of guys leave the cave, they find a woolly mammoth and they're like, shit, that's one bad motherfucker. Then they look at each other and go, let's not tell the people in the cave about this because it will freak them out. No, fuck no, they just spread the word. If you go out and find a pack of lions, you go, I better not, these are harder than humans, I better not tell anyone about this because it will freak them out. There's a short-sightedness to this argument. People have always been accustomed to this idea of there being a big bad, and it doesn't freak them out. For Christians, it's the devil. I don't even believe the devil exists, but for a Christian, there's a big bad in this world that is interdimensional. He lives in hell, but he comes up here, pops into your head, and tempts you with thoughts all the time. Where was this secrecy argument when the educated elite of the day decided to tell everyone else, yes, there's an interdimensional bad guy, he's got demons, he's got eternal punishment for you, eternal damnation is real, you need to watch how you behave, how you act, how you think, otherwise you'll be tortured forever. Oh, they weren't worried about that spreading panic. In fact, they went out specifically to drum it into the people. And they can live with that without panicking. I'm sure they can live with the idea of an alien threat, even if the aliens are supreme compared to us. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. When the Native Americans saw European settlers building cities, give it a few years, they didn't go, wow, these guys are pretty advanced with their horses and guns and shit. Let's not tell each other about this. The same situation, it simply doesn't stack up. You say, well, in these small tribe examples, the small tribe are in it together, whereas in modern human societies, there's a sort of like a core people that are responsible for security and everyone else just looks after the economy, I suppose. You'll say the security guys might want to keep it to themselves because it's not relevant to the point of even if it impacts the thoughts and outlook of the guys running the economy, or of the guys stocking the economy, I should say, then it's just harmful. But even that, it is pretty flimsy argument, really. Point being that there are things about our reality that are threats to us, and not knowing about them has always been the worst way of dealing with it compared to getting to know about them. So the secrecy argument just doesn't stack up for me.
He said that the Japanese are dealing with various races of ETs, and indeed various countries have various relationships with different groups of ETs. So this further makes a more of a complexity in the international relations, as I've always known.
I don't know what to say. We're not very advanced, considering that different countries have got different spacefaring nations on their side, or backing them up, or trading with them, whatever. E.T. phone home.
Although very few people out there seem to realize that or deal with that. In other words, we have governments. The governments do not act alone. They act in concert with the various ET races that they have alignments with.
You know what? It actually makes more sense if you play it backwards.
He said that the Japanese were dealing with a couple different races, and that they have been for, through the last 4,000 years.
4,000 years. 4,000 years. Dealing with advanced races for 4,000 years. And yet the Industrial Revolution took 3,750 years to come along. Are you fucking kidding me? That's the most numpty assertion I've ever heard. Well, the alien races came down just to be, and interfered in no way. They didn't do anything. This is pre-Roman Empire. This is, I don't think this is even Bronze Age. I'll have to look up exactly what it was. No, not having this. They came 4,000 years ago and didn't help the Japanese at all. The Japanese were working with alien races. When the Japanese have their own word for foreigner, you're gaijin. If you're not Japanese, you're gaijin. Until after the First World War, Japanese borders were closed to the outside. It was like that's the North Korea's trading policy. You had to, if you were a gaijin, you fucked off. Really? 4,000 years of alien chat. I feel like I've just been through 4,000 years of alien chat. This better get better.
Or more. And we talked about the battle in the Pacific, the underground bases of the various ETs there. He validated that. He said the Navy is indeed at war with a group of reptilians, and what are in essence reptilians with undersea bases.
I get it, because the French were testing nukes in the Pacific. You're going to say that wasn't test, that was warfare. Well, we fucking won then, didn't we? There's no marine lizards coming up to get us. The French have killed the Pacific reptilians. Yay, brilliant. It's over, surely. That's over now, because they're not coming anymore, and they're not dropping any more nukes. So we won, right?
In the Pacific Rim, that they've nuked a number of them, that they nuked an island off of LA, which is called something like LA Island or something, and that most people don't even know that, and it's like 200 miles from LA. He said nuclear power was really useless in space, completely antiquated technology, that it really did no good, and that wasn't useful for anything except occasionally here on Earth to use as a weapon, or in space to basically, he said, shoot into an asteroid to then blow up a passing ship that they want to destroy.
Much like Captain Sheridan on Babylon 5. The only guy to take out a Minbari war cruiser, parked a nuclear missile into an asteroid field, drew the Minbari cruiser past it and set the fucker off. Yet another Babylon 5 coincidence.
That's what he said, how it was used. But he said it was very crude, a very crude method to even do that. So in other words, things like particle beam weapons and scalar weapons were far in advance of the kinds of nuclear technology. But obviously the nukes are useful, or nuclear technology here on Earth, to change the environment into a high radiation environment, so that we would in essence mutate.
What are you saying? So the marine reptilians in their underground bases are sort of down there going, "Blah, blah, 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 blah. We might come and get you." So we're like, fuck you, man, we're having you. Nuke them to pieces. And then they're like, blah, blah, blah. The planet's becoming more amenable to our species. Keep nuking, you fuckers. We're terraforming it with your own weapon. Is that it? Both sides are a bit numpty-ish, aren't they? The marine reptilians who are already here and want to turn humanity into humanity 2.0 by way of nuclear radiation mutation, goad us into using nuclear weapons on them. We fall for it and do it, even though the guys like Mark Richards in the Secret Space Program know that it's a trick and that we're accidentally terraforming our own planet, and we nuke them anyway.
Into having various powers, etc. I didn't get a chance to ask him about Phobos, which I wanted to, but I talked to him about Solar Warden, He said Solar Warden is, is this interplanet. It's part of our solar system. It's a group guardians that are going around, monitoring incoming and outgoing craft and races.
Would they be guardians of the galaxy? You know what? I can't get away with this one because Guardians of the Galaxy, while it was a comic, it wasn't a movie until after these interviews. So I can't have that one unless Richards is a comic fan. He probably is.
He had liaisons with Russian women, interpersonal relations, as well as a head of French intelligence, apparently a woman.
Wow, he's James Bond now.
And that those alliances, although he fed information and reported on them regularly, etc., as an officer, he said that made him a threat in our military in such a way that they became worried that he would become a whistleblower.
And they were right.